Hi everyone, Wendy here with May's Quantum Power Deck video. I wanted to do it outside today because we're being called to go into the earth and kind of trust the earth's energy. So I wanted to kind of pull that in. We'll see how long I can make it before the sun goes down. But this month, there's a lot going on. So strap in for all of this beautiful energy. I've sent you a picture of it, I know, but just so you can see it, and I have it here. You can kind of see the energy here. And this is interesting because it's called Navigating the New Earth. And it's really important because we're in new energy. And this month, though it doesn't feel so peaceful and great, like this painting, like feels so beautiful, right? And so kind of amazing and peaceful, and there's like such beautiful energy in it. But this month doesn't feel all the way that way, if you know what I mean. It can feel tumultuous, or it's almost like we're oscillating between heavier energies and then lighter ones. And so that's kind of what this painting is all about, is overall the bigger picture of this space, right? And this is how I painted it. I painted it like this, right? And this being more of the dominant force here, right? This tree being very rooted, but we're oscillating between that energy and this energy. And this energy is like, this is the helm of a ship, right? The steering wheel of a ship, and you can really see it this way. And you can really just feel it, right? You can really see the helm, but also look like you're looking into the waters as we're kind of steering the helm. And we're in this like storm, and we're kind of like trying to find our way through. So this way, we're in the storm, and there's a lot of the energy right now feels like that, like we are in the storm, but what's really happening is this is what's happening. And it's an interesting thing to experience both, right? To kind of experience both energies. And that's the beginning of what this painting represents. So the new earth, new territories, new lands even. It was interesting this morning. This painting's been done for a few days. Excuse me. And I don't know why I'm like getting all choked up. Maybe I'm sure that's symbolic somehow. But this morning, I had two bald eagles flying through, swooping down. I've seen bald eagles close to here, but not right here. Swooping down into my yard, and all of this ruckus, all of this sound from all sorts of different kinds of birds. I have to go get some water, so hold on one second. Should have planned better, huh? Anyways, so there's these bald eagles that were swooping around. There's all this sound, like weird noises I've never heard before, like ruckus. I'm in my kitchen, just eating, drinking my lemon water in the morning, and hearing all this ruckus. I come outside. There's these big birds swooping. At first, I'm just like thinking that they're hawks, and thinking that maybe one of the hawks dropped one of its prey, like a kitten or, I don't know, squirrel or something, wanting to see what it is. My dog's back in the backyard, and it's not stopping these big birds from flying down. Come outside, I find that they're bald eagles, and very, very powerful energy. And then the crows are attacking them, going, what are you doing in our land, right? But very powerful energies. And it was an interesting experience because at the same time, I woke up in kind of a bad mood, like kind of on the wrong side of the bed, and just kind of like mad at the world, or mad at, yeah, kind of mad, just kind of feeling down. But that happened, and so for a brief moment, I'm like, wow, there's so much more going on than I realize, and how powerful this is. But I wanted to participate in that feeling more, which is kind of humorous to me. So I let myself until I didn't anymore, and I let myself indulge, and then I moved on. But that's the kind of energy we're talking about. Miracles, magic are happening around us, and yet we have this experience of these heavier energies. And it is as how we're oscillating is partly by choice, and we talked about choice last month, right? Choice between the crone and the fear, and facing your fears and rising above it, and how to do all of that stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that we're kind of going into this month with similar teachings. So wanted to bring that energy in to it. So here we are. Here's the painting, right? We have this tree. It's about this tree of knowledge, and it's us. It's twofold. It's got a lot of meanings, but it is representative of the wisdom within us, similar to the crone. Like, we have the wisdom within us to know how to follow this new path, this new earth. This new earth, it's a new territory, like I said, where we've never been here before. So if we're explorers of this new land, how would we take on like an explorer's spirit, right? And that would be one that's really open to new experiences that they might have never experienced before, seeing things that they might have never seen before. So there's like this real openness to this energy. Curiosity, right? There's a curiosity here, but not just curiosity, there's hope, right? And so in that way, it just really this hopeful energy of like, we're heading into, just because we've never been here before doesn't mean that is bad, right? And that's like the old paradigm is just new is bad, where now with the wisdom that we have, we can say new, we don't know what new is, let's just kind of explore it and be open to the possibility. So that's partly what this is. So we have this tree, which is knowledge, and attached to this tree, right, in the middle of this tree, is where the helm is attached. Now, for those of you that understand how helms work, helms are a part of the ship. It's the steering wheel of the ship, and it's attached to the rudder, and the rudder is what steers the boat. So symbolic of what are we steering? What's steering our boat? And what should be steering our boat, or, to kind of help navigate this new earth, would be this tree, symbolic of our own internal truth, who we are, our own relationship with spirit. Not anyone else's relationship with spirit, our own relationship with spirit. And that's kind of why we've really been cultivating this, and Spirit's been channeling all these messages of just like, you have to really get to know your own language of spirit, your own unique language, not anybody else's. You can't fake it. If you're taking on somebody else's belief system, it doesn't have the same frequency, the same vibration as when it really is authentic and it rings true for you. Now, it doesn't mean that things don't resonate with you, meaning like if somebody says something, you're like, yes, I feel the same way, or I see it the same way. That's still you, right? Knowing who you are and what resonates with you, right? So it's cultivating that still. And this tree is very, very abundant. And I also want to point out, like, this tree is beyond the victimization paradigm, okay? This tree is symbolic of you, your higher self. And it's like the burning bush. It's the Holy Spirit, right? Where it is not a victim to anything. And, Spirit shared with me this story, or this parable in a way, where if the tree could truly be a victim to the sun, right? It could get too much sun and it could burn away, and we've seen that sometimes with trees, right? But instead, through natural selection or through just evolution itself, a tree has evolved to where it grows leaves that absorb the sun, and it utilizes the sun energy. And instead of being victim to it and sharing a story or a perspective that the sun is hurting it, it develops growth. It uses the sun as growth to, whether it's protect itself, protect its roots. So now the tree is almost in a natural harmony within itself and in its environment, where there's kind of an equal balance of shade and cooling and heat now. So it solved its own problem, right? It didn't have a problem doing that. It utilized the sun, which we might determine is a bad thing, any bad thing coming at us. Instead of fighting it or being victim to and letting it harm us, the tree absorbed it, integrated it, right? And it used it, and it grew out its branches, and it started growing leaves, and it provided its own safety, its own shelter. That's the symbolism here with this tree. How we handle anything, any soon to be negative thing, as violent as you want it to be, war, murder, kidnap, whatever. How do we absorb that, integrate it, and learn from it, and grow stronger and create harmony? That's our job here. We're beings of light. We're divine beings of light. And so that's this tree. That's the symbol of this tree in this painting. You, your own higher self, taking your own presumably dark things that have happened to you, whatever they are, not being misunderstood, not being accepted, feeling rejected, neglected, right? Taking any of these stories, learning from them, absorbing in them, right? It's all done out of love. Think about it, even like a callus on your finger, right? You love to play the guitar, or let's say you work with your hands a lot, right? You could look at the calluses on your hand, and you could be like, wow, I have calluses on my hand, I've been hurt, right? But in fact, that was your body's way of creating safety for yourself, right? So in this way, it was an act of love, right? Even a scar, emotional scars or whatever, right? It strengthens us. So in this way, it's really no longer participating in a reality where you're a victim of anything. Not to say that if you're still in a place of trying to validate how you're feeling, like you were wronged or you were neglected, there is a time and a space where those parts need to be nurtured and understood, meaning like, yes, that did happen to you, and yes, that's not okay. You deserve to be heard. You deserve someone to treat you with respect and love always. I don't mean that. I mean, there comes a point in your process of healing when you move beyond that, and we have to put those stories down. And the moment we begin to put those stories down is when we start gathering our power. We gain our own sense of self-awareness and self-love, and understanding why we're here. That's the space I'm talking about. And this is the space that you steer your ship from. I wanted to, because they told me they wanted me to share this with you, is the process that I paint. This is the new earth. So there's two earths that are happening right now, they say. One is a denser reality where this victimization is going to continue to play out. And you're going to see this polarization of people that live in this victimization versus people that start moving beyond it. It's going to become even more dramatic. We've already seen it with the elections and things like that. We've already seen some of that. But it is going to get a little bit more polarized. Not that anything bad is happening. This is just how the awakening process works. So so they're going to have one reality where people are really still thinking that bad things are happening, and they're not taking responsibility, that they're these beautiful divine creatures that create the reality, and that they have so much power, right? To change, to heal, to impact. And then there's this other reality, this new earth, where we see the magic, we take responsibility, and we keep manifesting, and these higher frequencies of love and compassion and all sorts of things, new solutions to problems that we didn't even know existed before. All of that lives in here, in this new earth. So that is going to become a little bit more obvious, in where you won't even hear or see people that are operating. You can't be around them anymore, not really. And you just see them as hurt, and you just keep sending them love. But you're not really affected by them. Okay? So it's not like it's going to be this war or anything. It isn't. It's not a war. We're not fighting anybody. It's just going to become a little bit more obvious. And it's that flipping of the painting, right? It's this... Which reality do you live in? Do you live in the one where it's tumultuous and it's storming out? And don't forget, turn it around. There's magic happening here. In cultivating that spiritual practice, the things that make you feel safe, the things that make you feel connected, the more you do that during these times of change, the more it's going to help you rise above and help create this new earth. Right? So this is how we steer the ship. So we have the helm, and we steer the ship by connecting to this heart space. And this is kind of all this green that's around here. Listening and following this self-love, this mastering of self, right? And this rainbow here is really reflective of this creative energy. Like anything and everything is possible. Truly. And what are you aligning your ship to? You know, whatever it is. It could be very boxy. It could be very limited. It could be very small thinking, meaning like, I just want to live till Friday. At least till Friday, right? Why not live for 150 more years? Anything and everything's possible. Or you can think as big or small as you want. Whatever it's happening, you're helping manifest it. So you might as well think huge, right? That's this creative energy. Okay, and we have a lot of help. There's a lot of magic going on. So I would definitely start thinking about what it is that you want in this now moment. You know, do you want to be a writer? Do you want to be an actor? I don't know. It doesn't matter. There's no limits. It's never too late. I don't care what your age is. I have success stories of any age doing all of those things. Acting, writing, painting. A woman that started in her 70s and does so well. Anyways, so aligning that to your truth. So you really have to know your truth, right? So when we're kind of, as we're oscillating through this storm to no storm, storm to no storm, that's what we're figuring out. So you're not doing anything wrong. When you're in the storm, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just part of this process, part of your own process of assimilating this new energy of May. We're really feeling this oscillation. There's so much magic around us, though. And layers to this, okay? There's so many layers to your own being. It's complex. Look at all these layers. It almost looks like in a blurry way, doesn't it almost look like a Big Mac or something, like a big hamburger? Just lots of layers. I love it when they're just talking to me. They partly want you just to feel this for a minute. You know, in some aspect of this self-love, in the center of your wheel here, learning how to navigate this space. What's surrounding this is this green color, which is learning how to love yourself, learning how to nurture these parts that might be arising, but that might be in this storm, right? You know, I always rock it because it feels so unsettled in this space. We're still trying to figure out, we're like looking through our hats, trying to see the way. We're kind of lost and blind, and we're just kind of trusting. We're not even really even sure of where we're going, right? And here they're saying, just keep focused on the self. Keep focused on loving the self and the things that are arising, learning how to nurture all those spaces. There's so many layers. There's so many layers to this. And as you do this, as you continue to learn how to navigate and nurture yourself, right, it starts feeding into the water. And that's what starts calming the storm. Because the storm's within you. I know I just gave the whole plot of the movie away, but that was it. Right? And just look at the magic here, right? There's so much more that's going on. Like, we're affecting so much more. We're affecting universes. And we're beginning to feel that and see that. And this is why this is an exciting time. Anyways, I got off track. They wanted me to share with you my process as a painter. Because this is the new earth. We were talking about the new earth and the old earth and the energies, right? Remember? And I kind of got sidetracked. It's okay. This is, they say, the epitome of this new earth's energy, of how we're meant to live. And there's no shoulds, right? But what I'm talking about is an unconditioning. We need an unconditioning response to the cultural conditioning we received. Because we were so, there's my dog. We were so conditioned to live in our headspace, right? Live in our headspace. And not in our hearts. And so we're kind of unconditioning that and moving into our heart space. And in this space, this is how spirituality works. Okay, this is how our intuition works. This is how our whole being works, is how I paint. And it doesn't make sense. And so in that way, it's almost like Alice in Wonderland, upside down, inside out. But you would say, I sat down and I came up with ideas around what I'm going to teach, right? The Spirit tells me what I'm going to teach. So they're going to say, we're going to talk about the new earth, and we're going to talk about the old earth, and we're going to talk about mastering the self. And let's symbolize that as a tree. And then I'm going to have you put a helm in here because it's about navigating the self. None of it was like that, okay? None of it is like that for me at all. No. I sit down. I have no idea. What means what. All I know is step one, I'm going to paint a tree. But hey, all of a sudden I see a helm. Okay, I'm going to put the helm there. At this point, I don't even know it's attached to the tree. I just see half of a helm. And I'm like, how's this even going to work? I don't even know. I have no idea. But I'm just going to trust. And this is how we should be living our life, right? I don't know, but I know step one, I'm going to start a tree. And I'm just going to have fun with this background. Just going to let myself go. That feels right. Yeah, it feels fun. I'm like in my joy. This feels good. This feels good. This feels good. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good, right? And then I'm like, hey, this is a helm. And I'm like, I don't know. I really love this green color. I put some green up here. I'm like, I really love this green color. What else should I do? I want to put some down here. It doesn't make sense, but I love it down here. I don't even know why. I just love it. It just feels good. I want to eat it up. So I'm painting it down here. And I'm like, what am I going to do on this side? Like, I don't know. I don't see anything. And that's sometimes my doubt comes in. Wendy, you're going to do something wrong. You can't have nothing there. I'm like, no. It's okay. I'm just going to trust, right? I'm just not going to put anything there until I know, right? Whatever. And then it occurs to me, like days later, I'm like, I'm going to I'm going to fuzz out this tree where I'm going to have it fade into like just this beautiful nothingness, or this beautiful transition. And then as I was painting, I was falling in love with this teal color. I was really loving that. And then I added it into the tree. I was really loving some of these little nuances of this tree, And then added some pinks and some ethereal like energies kind of coming in. I was like, wait, I'm going to paint this black. So I painted the black, and then I kind of really moved it into the black, overlapping the black. So that was really cool. And then I knew there was going to be stars because I just love the universe and love outer space, And then I added the rainbow because I was like, no, there's a rainbow, and the rainbow is shooting up into the tree kind of like this, like the rays. And then I was like, wait, this is the center. This has got to be bright, bright light. And then I really had to make this stronger looking helm, like a really strong old helm, which doesn't look exactly right. Like wood, but it does. Almost like somebody was saying these look like, almost like these are shooting out, which they could be, because they could be coming from that center. Like both are true, right? But here's the thing, these are 4 moving into 5, right? We have 5, we have 4. So once I'm done with all of this, oh yeah, and then I was like, no, I just want all this blue water. I didn't even know it was water really at that point, but I was like, I want this blue color surrounding the bottom. So then I was like, oh yeah, waves, right? At the very end, I start putting the story together. I start putting even the meaning together. But I don't know what I'm teaching until the very, very end. And honestly, I don't even really know what I'm teaching sometimes until it's coming out of my mouth. And that is the power of living in the now. You're so trusting, Spirit, that you're always going to say and do the right thing always. And you trust yourself. So all of the moments in your life where you've lost trust or you've mistreated yourself, those have been repaired. Not all. I'm not perfect. I don't mean it like that, because I'm still repairing some of those things, right? But that's this new earth. Is this very intuitive, trusting, surrendering. And then you create and you live each day like that. Like, not necessarily, no, you can't plan anymore. There's no planning. I couldn't plan this out. Because planning has a sense of control to it. Now, we can manifest, we can have goals, we can have ideas or objectives, right? And those are going to be based in your higher self that align with your heart. Meaning, I want to write a book. I really want to service others. I really want to help, right? Those things will never change. Those are rooted in who you are. And that's what this tree is. It's really rooted, right? That's the approach that they want us to take with everyday life. This openness, the surrender, very similar to how we would approach a new earth. Openness, curiosity, hopeful, right? Whatever arises, even if you're in the storm and you're trying to move your way through, right? And we're like steering our way. Hey, you got to rock the boat, right? Because that's what it feels like. We're steering our way through. We now know, because it's still rooted in this wisdom, that it must be for our highest and greatest good, and we're going to trust. And we're going to love the hell out of ourselves while we're in that darkness. So that's a lot of the message today. The reason why there's 4 moving into 5, the 5th one you don't even see, is a pyramid, right? Pyramids have a 4 base and is pointing up to the 5th. That's the 5th one, expansion up top. So it's moving into higher realms. It's the 5th dimensional expansion. That's why that's what this is called. This new earth is this 5th dimensional expansion. It's having a consciousness of how this reality works on such a level, and such an inner knowing level. There's no more victimization. Nothing bad is ever happening, right? And we know how to navigate this new space. right? So it's very, very, very cool. Now, the helm, how you're steering it. Self-love, right? And this other value in here is blue. And then this rainbow, this is part of the helm too, right? It's a reoccurring theme. But this helm, how you steer, how you navigate in these tumultuous waters and in this transitioning space, is figuring out your authentic voice. And that's nothing very logical. It's actually a very emotional thing. How things feel to you. That's authentic voice. How things really feel to you. Do you really like something or not? Do you really agree with that or not? And asking those questions, you might not know, right? So you ask those questions. How do I feel about that? Right? I love this energy right here, the sun coming in, because it almost feels like it's a rainbowy. It's almost like yellow to orange to pink. And then the cooler colors over here. It's kind of neat. Anyways, that authentic voice is a big one, and that's partly why I'm pausing. It's so important. Most of us don't know. Right? There's a lot of people out there that just don't know. They don't know how they feel. They don't even know what they like. What do you like? You know, what turns you on? And I don't mean that in a sexual way, but I do mean it in a sexual way. What turns you on? What do you like? What really gets you going? In all ways. And knowing that for yourself. And allowing yourself to express that freely. So, it's about expressing our voice, but the authentic voice piece is important. It's not just about expressing, and it's about being seen. And that's partly where the rainbow comes in, being seen. Because when light hits things, that's when we start seeing form. Form is an illusion, but that's what we're here down on earth to experience. I am in form, the divinity in form. So we start taking form. We start hitting the light, we take form. So this piece right here, why it's so part of the helm and following our authentic voice is following our joy. What brings us joy? What do we really, really like? And the thing is, that can be a hard thing. That can be a hard thing to discover because we've been people-pleasing all our lives. So we've always been identifying ourselves through the eyes of others. And that's a long road to unravel. There's a lot of layers in that. Like, I don't even know where I authentically felt for myself. I might have been only 6 years old. And then you have to unravel all of those other years. But you've always been there. And that's partly what this tree's message is. There's a part of you that's always been there. That's never lost any of its authenticity. So it's just kind of getting back into that and tapping back into that energy. And following your joy to take form and being seen. Feeling safe. And that's why that tree, that connection with that tree is so important. Feeling safe to be our authentic voice. So cultivating those activities that bring you that sense of safety. Whether it's meditating, praying, journaling, whatever it is, really nurturing and creating this spiritual practice. And it's unique to everybody. Some people might just go walking. Some people might do that cleaning. It's so unique and special for every human being, and just cultivating and allowing yourself to have that, and allowing yourself to have your joy. Right? That's this helm. That's how you're steering. What feels right? What is right for yourself? You're your own influence, right? And so yeah, that's a very powerful, powerful message. So all in all, from May, there's more light here now. There is more light. Creating that spiritual practice to tap into it. Keep going through these layers of self, navigating these waters. But even this space, moving through the waters, look at how small it is compared to the rest of the painting. There's so much magic here. So begin to explore it. And what do you find? You're going to find yourself. You're going to find your gifts. You're going to find the reason why you're here, the purpose. You know, your purpose. But it's magical and it's brilliant. So I'm very excited for everyone, because the more people begin to cultivate this new earth energy, because it's an energy that's within us and it's in the earth, the more it's going to exist here in form. More and more and more. It won't be this esoteric idea or that we have to reach for. It's just going to be here. It is here. We're just opening ourselves, our perspectives to it. The last piece of this is the connection to the earth. So this is symbolic of your own internal knowledge, but it's also the earth knows. So tapping our rudder, our helm, to the rudder of the earth, meaning the earth knows how to do this. It's innate. It's tapping into the wisdom of the earth. It's all around us. Just like we've figured out all the truths of the universe, even in scientifically, it's all been observed through nature, right? Even healing, even diseases, how to cure diseases, it's all been through nature. It's kind of amazing. So the earth knows. So working with the earth more, tapping into the trees, tapping into the bald eagles and the grass, or even the winter, and the ice. There's so much wisdom here all around us. It's about opening up and being that explorer and being receptive to it. So this 5D, this awakening process here, especially in the springtime, you can feel it all around you. Keep communicating with the earth and its magic. There's many, many gifts here to be given to human beings from the earth. As we awaken, the earth is awakening, and with that there's new frequencies of energies, of healing. You know, why do you think that all of the healers, even the founder of Reiki, and from Jesus to Mohammed or whomever, all have these stories of going into the mountain and coming down from the mountain with this profound wisdom to share with everybody? And it's not just them, it's other major spiritual beings that have affected humanity. They've been in the mountains. And why do you think that is? It's right, it's listening to the mountains and it's tapping into these higher frequencies. The earth houses all of it. The burning bush or whatever. So fun. I love it. So it excites me to see what it is that all of you can hear and feel when you interact in these spaces, whether it's the wind or the water, the trees and the mountains, whatever. There's wisdom, major high intensity, frequency, energies to do all sorts of things, from heal to grow to commune with, even animals. They're on higher frequencies, they're on higher planes. So as we expand and move into this 5D world and this new earth, all of these things are going to continue to expand. So I'm super excited. So share with me if you have any of those kind of experiences. But that's pretty much it for May. I'm so excited to see what June has, because man, we are on a roller coaster, but it's a fun ride. I kind of like roller coasters, not in a dramatic way, but just the ride. The ride's fun. So I hope you're having fun. If not, keep following your joy. Try to get some of that in your life. And I send you all so much love. Thank you so much for listening and participating and supporting me and the Indigo Doors. Truly, truly appreciate it. We still have room in our June retreat in Charleston. It's going to be super fun. Lots of intense, like, new DNA stuff going on at this retreat that the Spirit wants us to tap into. So we're excited to do that with the ocean energy. So if you're interested in joining, please do so. You can join for the whole 5 days or just a day or two. yeah, that's June 21st through the 25th. But thank you so much. Just throwing it out there, but thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate it. All right, sending love until June. Till next time. Namaste.